Press on. We got some gang activity right here. I'm on it like white on rice. Assemble forth. Legion about. For God's sakes, be one of the people. Good evening. So we got Williams County Sheriff. I don't want to get in your way.
Thank you.
He's possibly waiting for backup. I don't know. But we're at McDonald's. It's a Hispanic lady.
As you keep your distance, don't interfere, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's already given orders. Of course. These officers just can't help themselves. They got to regurgitate from the mouth. Nothing new. So they're already treating her like she's a criminal with this officer standing back like this in a position in order to blow her brains out, which is probably what he's just waiting for any chance to do now. I mean, you can see they've totally created a scene where there wasn't a scene. You know, this is bad publicity for McDonald's for sure. You know, they make it look like there's a felony going on here. Now it looks like this is one of the people. I don't have any reason to believe it's a person engaged in commerce, or that she works for the government, or that she's an immigrant. All three of those would make her a person, or in her person. Now, just to explain the immigrant thing, the thing is when you immigrate to this country, you do have to ask the government permission in order to do it. And so since they can deny you or accept your request, they do obviously have some authority over you, right? But if you were born here in this country, then you never had to ask permission of your government for anything. And so you are one of the people, you know, unless you enter your person voluntarily by doing commerce or joining the government. You know, if you join the government, then you would be a public servant, and you know, you lose a lot of your, well, you lose all your rights except for one. You have one right remaining, which is the right to vote, and everything else is just a privilege that. Okay, so he's speaking Spanish to her, shining his light in her eyes. Oh, he just asked for a passport. So, okay, so she is an immigrant, so she is a person. So these officers do have authority over her. Whether or not they knew that before they pulled her over is a different story. You know, I don't know what they pulled her over for, but they're having her sign something. So see, the car is trying to get through, and so if that car can walk through, I guess I can walk through there too. You know, maybe I should give that a try. But I don't really want to go through there right now. But obviously I could. If they're going to allow that vehicle to go through, then I could go through. I will try and get these deputies' name, and hopefully they'll tell me what they pulled her over for in the first place. you know, if I'm nice to them. A lot of times they do. I don't think this lady speaks English, so I probably won't have much luck with that, talking to her. He's still questioning her. He had her sign something already. Oh, he's asking her what day she came to Texas. I know a lot of words in Spanish, but sentences behoove me. But I heard Tejas and Diaz. I don't think they're done with her. They went over where I can't see them because they're the lights are so blinding on the vehicle. But I think that the bigger officer, the one that was standing back, is maybe training the other officer. So perhaps I'll get to meet a training officer. Maybe he's a corporal or of higher rank than your average goon extorting from the public. You know, shaking them down. Surprised they don't have her out of her car yet, actually. I've heard some things about the sheriff's department here in Williamson County. I haven't had many encounters with them. Generally, they're pulling people over in the rural areas, and I only would come across them when I'm ambling between cities. But I have had a couple dealings. And I did meet one of the assistant chiefs for Williamson County, Roy Fickock, and he seems pretty nice, but you know, he's still a gang member. He's one of the assistant chiefs. There's 3 assistant chiefs. So now see, here's another vehicle trying to come in, and they're, you know, don't know what to do at first because the sheriffs have blocked this off as if this is their parking lot. See, here comes another one that has to navigate the obstacle course in which they've set up. You know, they could pull in a lot closer. They really could. Like, I mean, they just don't need to do this to this lady or to McDonald's. You know, here comes another one. Right? They just think that they can just take over the scene anytime they want. That now this parking lot belongs to them. You know, and it absolutely doesn't. I mean, they should show a little bit more respect instead of using these gangland tactics to display their authority. You know, any opportunity to flex their authority, they take it. And it's really sad in this day and age, you know, and then they're whining about their safety and yada yada. You know, if they're worried about their safety, they should just quit and go home, because they're really not even trying to protect themselves. I mean, like, let's take this as a perfect example, you know, of you have these 2 officers that approach this vehicle. Okay, and that is a dangerous situation in one way, you know, meaning that like the driver could pull a gun and shoot them, and they kind of, you can't see their hands or anything like that. But See, if these officers were really trying to protect themselves, then they would have some sort of shield in front of them. Like, hypothetically, if their door popped off and was a shield, a bulletproof shield, then they could approach a vehicle without fear of getting shot. But then they would be behind a shield and they wouldn't have the same kind of aggressive tactics that they like to use in order to scare the people into giving up their rights. Now, I mean, this is really going on for a long time. We're at over 10 minutes since this started, and I don't know exactly what they're looking for, but it seems like maybe he's using this as a training opportunity. I don't know, but if they had something on her, then they probably would have moved in by now. But I'm thinking that they're just over there having a little gang huddle, and they know they're not going to get killed as long as they're standing back there. So they stall for dollars and spend as much time flexing their supposed authority, which they do have authority over this lady, because if she has a passport, then she is a person. She's not one of the people. But the people, I mean, even immigrants, everybody has privileges that appear a lot like rights. But they can be revoked, under certain circumstances, and temporarily, right? Like her Fourth Amendment privilege, which is really what it is. You can call it a right, but it's not the same as an inalienable right, because whatever country she came from before this one, she didn't have that right. She didn't have it until she got here, so it was given to her by the United States government. Whereas if you're born here, you have that right from birth. It's an inalienable right. No liens may be placed upon it. But if you're a person, you have the right to vote. If you're a citizen, you have the right to vote, I should say. A citizen is kind of like a person on steroids. It doesn't have that many advantages. You can't be deported, obviously. I mean, where would you be deported to? You can vote. You can run for president, or, well, if you're a natural born citizen. But if you're even if you immigrate, you can still run for Congress or Senate or local government. At some point, there's different qualifications for each instance, but which I'm not going to get into right now. But he's definitely training this officer. I'm trying to ear hustle. Maybe if I zoom in, I can capture the volume. Are you done, officer? Are you free to go? Yeah? Can I talk to you? Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. No comprende inglés? Wait. ¿Por qué Tiquito or Citation?
Oh,
No citation?
no, la luz,
This right here? Oh, lights.
the lights.
Luce,
The
luz.
lights.
Oh, you're right, headlight. No citationi?
No,
Ah, sí, buenas. Gracias, señorita.
gracias.
Yeah, yeah. All right, yeah.
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think